I never apologize.
Oh, okay.
Just man up and do it.
Hi, Tess.
Hi, Tess.
Okay, so when I first thought about doing this experiment about communicating respect, I immediately started to give deeper thought into the way that young people in particular interact. And I've always sort of been conscious of the fact that modern day technology has completely transformed the way that people engage in social settings. But it wasn't until I actually committed myself to this experiment that I realized how often basic forms of respect are just like completely disregarded, and especially among young people. So respect to me involves receptive body language, being open, making a lot of eye contact, and showing the person that you're talking to that you're genuinely interested in what they have to be saying. So over those 48 hours that I took to do this experiment, I really wanted to show people how much of a difference it can make in conversation when you're really showing them those basic and simple forms of respect. So I definitely came across the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I also learned a lot on the way. So starting with the good, I met a new student on campus last week, and she was lost on her way to class, and she came up to me, and I could tell she was kind of nervous, maybe a little embarrassed. She had the Falcon app on her phone, like trying to figure out where to go. The arrow was like pointing in different ways. If you don't know what that is, it tells you where the halls are on campus. So she was looking for Friends Hall, and I immediately stopped walking and looked at her and just smiled, and like immediately I could tell she was much more relaxed. And I told her, yeah, I'm actually walking in that direction right now. You can come with me, I'll walk you there. And we ended up having a really great conversation. And once we got to where she needed to be, I could just tell how appreciative she was that I took those 5 minutes out of my day. It didn't affect me at all. And just standing there when I was saying goodbye to her, I wished her luck on her first quarter at UCLA, and I could just tell that we had that mutual respect. We were complete strangers, but I was really able to help her out, and she was really appreciative, and that felt really good. So that was my good experience. And now for my bad experience. This past weekend was really crazy with rush and everything. And I was up super early on Saturday morning, and I went to go get some coffee in Westwood, and I was standing in a line, and the person in front of me clearly really needed her morning coffee as well. She was a little, I don't know. But she walked up to the counter, and she really just, I guess, was super tired. Didn't have any personal exchange with the cashier, basically just said coffee and a blueberry muffin. And the cashier kind of responded in the same way. She was looking at the computer screen, putting in the order, and basically just told her how much her order was. And just very bland encounter. So I figured that if I took on a different attitude, maybe I could trigger a different response from the cashier. So I went up to the counter. Even though I'm not a morning person, I was like, good morning, how are you? How's your day going so far? And she's still looking at the computer like, what was your order? And I was kind of like, okay, maybe she didn't hear me. All right. So I told her my order, and I was waiting for my drink, and I figured I'd give her another chance. So when she gave me my coffee, I said, thank you so much. You know, this is my favorite coffee, and I really hope you have a great day. And she was kind of just like, oh, okay. And like gave me a little smirk for half a second, and then turned around and kind of blew me off. So I was like, all right, whatever. I walked out of there still smiling because I knew I gave her the respect that she deserved. And I figured, you know, sometimes you're just not going to find mutual respect with everyone.
Yeah.
So that was my bad story, and now for my ugly experience. So last week I walked into one of my super big lecture halls, and it was the first day of class, so everyone was kind of shuffling in, finding a seat, talking to their neighbors. The syllabus was being passed around, and then finally the professor took the floor and started her introduction, and I looked around and I realized even though the room was silent, everyone was still on their computers and on their phones and not taking notes, like scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, talking to their friends. And I thought about it, and I came to the realization that if we didn't have phones, computers, etc., we wouldn't be doing any of the same things that we do on these devices. So like playing games. People are sitting there playing games. You would never like bring a ball to lecture and start throwing a ball around. Or like texting all your friends. You wouldn't just start breaking off into different groups and talking to your friends while the lecture is going on. So I really realized how distracted we are by everything that comes along with modern day technology, that it doesn't even occur to us that we're being disrespectful because we can do it in these secret ways. And so that I chose this example from my ugly experience because this isn't only something that I've experienced, but something that I think everyone sees every day and all around the world. And so that was my ugly truth about our society. And I just wanted to end by saying that this whole experience was truly, really valuable to me because I was really able to recognize how important incorporating respect into your everyday life is, and it can really make such a big difference, both giving and receiving it. And I also learned that our society just doesn't hold respect to the same standard as it used to, and I think that this is a result of just the way that we're socialized with everything that comes along with modern day technology. And I think sometimes we're just so distracted by everything that's going on in the virtual world, we kind of forget how important it is to have those genuine human interactions. We're kind of like losing an aspect of our social culture. But on that note, I'll end by saying that I think it's really important that we all realize how much of a difference it can make if we just go that extra step to show people that we respect them, and I think that can go a long way.
Okay, back row over here.
Hi, Rachel Leah.
What's your name?
Rachel Leah. Sorry.
Rachel Leah. Wow, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah. I get that a lot. So I thought you did a really good job with your speech. I thought you were really fluid in the way you spoke. You seemed really calm, and you used hand gestures really appropriately. It was really, I could tell that you were really conscious. For example, when you were talking about technology being out there, I liked how you used your hands, and how when you got really excited at the barista, you used your gestures really appropriately, and I think they worked really well.
Okay, thank you. Improvement?
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
I thought you did an awesome job. I thought you made a lot of unique points that haven't really been brought up yet. But honestly, I'd say maybe like the ums kind of slipped in a little, but aside from that, I really enjoyed it.
Tessa, I liked your speech. I think you're a likable speaker, and you had a lot of enthusiasm for your topic, and that came through, and so that was good. You started with your definition of respect, and you're lamenting its lack of opportunities to show it these days in our society. Your preview was good. Your first story of helping a lost person who wasn't figuring out the Falcon app was good. And that was a good example of how repeating the mantra will translate into helpful, thoughtful things, respectful activity. On the bad, yes, even if you do this at McDonald's or other places, you'll see that many times you can't even break the pattern. What's your order? And they're so programmed, but you occasionally will break through. And the smirk is sad, but yeah, it's probably what you got from her. Why are you even trying to connect with me? But you knew what you were trying to do, and that was good. So you made a little inroad there, I think. On the ugly experience, yeah, this is why, I have a little thing on the syllabus where I ask people not to have their laptops out and their telephones out, because we want people to really listen to speeches and to pay attention, because it really is disrespectful to be doing this when someone's trying to communicate to you. But it's a fact of life, and I'm glad you pointed it out. I want to say two things. One, I want you to make good eye contact all the way around the room, not just to this section. Pretend that these are all of your children and you need to love them all equally. You know what happens when you ignore certain children. They think that you love one more than the other and they get upset about that. So look around the room and walk 3 times. Watch the ums, but you did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, we're looking over this way now. Yeah. Okay, yeah, here, yeah. Thank you.
I lost my voice a little, so.
Never apologize. Man up.
Okay. I'm Maria.
Hi, Maria.
So over the weekend, I had to pay nonverbal respect to whoever I met. At first, I didn't know what was really meant by this assignment, but then I started to think that I meant your body language, your actions, and your facial expressions. As I started this weekend, that's what I thought. But then, as I went through the good, the bad, and the ugly, I realized that it was more than that. The good was that I felt respect back. I was more open in my conversations. I tried to hold eye contact and not cross my arms when talking. This was a little tough for me because I grew up in Russia and you're not really taught to hold eye contact. It can even be counted as disrespectful in my culture. But I noticed that I gained mutual respect whenever talking with my friends and acquaintances. So that was the good part. The bad part was when I played in a tennis tournament over the weekend. I had to practice nonverbal respect, and I did this through tennis etiquette, which included a handshake at the end of the game, saying something nice, like some nice shot. And I noticed some of the girls were not paying the same respect towards me, and also some were not even making good line calls. But I tried to be considerate of them. It was a very competitive environment. The ugly part, well, I couldn't really think of an ugly part that came out of this experiment, but the part that I did think of is when it was my roommate's turn to take out the trash, and I paid nonverbal respect, and I took it out myself. She didn't really notice. I didn't really get a thank you, but that wasn't really the big deal. The big deal to me was that I noticed that if I don't stand up for myself, sometimes nonverbal respect is not enough to get me respect. So what I learned from this experiment is nonverbal respect does get you respect back, but I also learned that nonverbal respect is more than just gestures. It is having an open mindset. You can't judge people for their different ways of thinking, their actions. You have to be very open-minded. And overall, this has been a very good experience, and I learned how small little actions of respect can get you respect back.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is
What's your name?
Sojin.
Sojin. Hi, Sojin.
Hello. So I really like this piece because it's very well organized and clear, concise, so it's easy to follow and understand. And yeah, I like that you were conscious about your experience throughout the whole experience. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sojin. Improvement?
Hi everybody, I'm Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
I liked your speech as well. I think maybe next time, I understand you're losing your voice, but maybe bring up your energy a little bit.
Yeah. Good, Thomas. Yeah, we try not to apologize at the beginning of the speech for any reason, because what it does is it lowers expectations. It's kind of an appeal to pity. That's why I just say, man up and do it, Maria, I liked your speech. I liked that you talked about the cultural differences in Russia, and there's some other cultures where staring too long at a person is considered to be disrespectful, and especially between old and young, and it's different colors and so forth. So I thought that was good. On your good experience, I thought that was well told, and you got your you said you weren't crossing your arms so much, so that was good. On this tennis tournament, I guess there's supposed to be a natural respect that goes between the players in the sports realm, right? And you were trying to mask your disappointment when you lost a player, when you felt you got a bad call or something. That's respect, and that's when you try to keep it in. And I think you did play it fairly well, so that was good. On the ugly, I'm not. I guess you took the garbage out, even though it wasn't your turn. I don't know about this. I think I would have taken it out, but I probably would have, said something, or I don't know, left a little note or something. But sometimes there's something good about doing a favor for someone and not letting them know you did it. There's something nice about that, and there's something virtuous about that too. On your conclusion, I would like a little more detail about what you learned from it. I'd like to see you move 3 times. Other than that, you did a nice job. Thank you. So we'll go over to this side now. No more on this side? Okay. Oh, right here, yeah. Thanks for waiting. Trophy husband, boy. Very good.
First shirt I found this morning.
He's a trophy husband.
I was going to say, there's only 4 minutes left of class.
We have 4 minutes left in class? Oh, we don't have time. You can make, oh, we do? You can't make it? You want to make it? You want to try to do it?
Yeah.
Or you have to leave, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, we only have 4 minutes left in class. We'll do it next time. Sorry.